Hello, welcome to my Something for the Wellbeing weekend. And this is a new thing that I'm going to do at the end of every week exclusively here on YouTube, just to give you a little insight into what's been going on here at the World of Wellbeing, here in my Wellbeing studios, and maybe to throw out a few ideas for the weekend that you might like to take away and try. And at this time of year, it really is the moment to go out foraging. You know, if you've got a chance to go out for any walks, if you've got any hedgerows near you, take a little look inside, because nestling inside these branches are just golden jewels of well-being bounty. Yes. So blackberries for a start. So blackberries are still around at the moment and they are just so delicious. I mean, you can make a classic blackberry and apple crumble. You can just have a bowl of blackberries with a bit of milk splashed onto it. I mean, there's lots that you can do. They also freeze really well. So if you have got lots of blackberries around, just flat freeze them. So pop them on a tray and just what they call open freeze. And then when they're frozen, it only takes an hour or two, then you can tip them into a bag and they'll be kind of free flow that you can use throughout the year. Now, I actually spotted in here some really great hedgerow recipes, and for those of you who've been following me for some time, you may actually have this. This is the Autumn magazine dating back to 2015. Oh my goodness, I didn't realise we'd actually been going that long, but it's full of good stuff. We do have just a few of the back issues left on the Earle Wellbeing website, so if you haven't got this particular one and like to add it to your collection, do grab it while you can, because there are just the last few in there. But basically, I talk about blackberries in here, and there's some great recipes too. So you can make a blackberry jelly. How delicious is that? So you're literally just using blackberry juice and turning that into an amazing jelly with a jelly mould. You can just use a pudding bowl and a pack of gelatine, a little bit of sugar. Also, I don't know if you've noticed, but at the moment, the sloes are amazing. You know, sloes in the hedgerows. Some years they're better than others, but I was out walking on my farm literally 2 days ago and I was amazed. I don't think I've ever seen the sloes in the bushes looking quite so good. Sloes, of course, really not very sweet. They're quite bitter, and about the only thing you can do with sloes that I know of anyway is to make sloe gin or sloe vodka. And this tells you all about how to do that very thing. Super easy. Some people get the sloes and then they prick them to release the juices, put them in a big preserving jar, top it up with gin, a little bit of sugar, tip it upside down every so often, and then the purists say you've got to leave it till next Christmas. So Christmas 21 before it's ready, but I don't actually wait that long. I think if I do it now, then it'll be ready for this Christmas. If you can't be bothered to prick them with a needle, some people just pick all the sloes, put them in the freezer, because the idea is that you're bursting the skins, and then you can use them to release the goodness in that infusion of gin with a little bit of sugar. And you can add spices in there if you want. You could chuck in a few cloves or star anise. You could put in a few almonds if you wanted. You know, people do lots of different things. Almond extract is very good in sloe gin. And then last but not least, you may find some elderberries. So you can make your own elderberry syrup. We've got a great recipe on lizellewellbeing.com. Or you can buy elderberry syrup. Elderberry is also known as Sambucus niger. That's the botanical name for the plant. And you can find brands like Sambucol, which is the elderberry syrup, or there are lots of other brands. Pucka do one, Neal's Yard Remedies have a very good elderberry syrup, and also Life Armour in their drops of immunity. They also use elderberry. So it's one of those things that I always give my kids at this time of the year. And I have to say, I've been taking it too, because you never know when it might help. Now, one other thing that I'm just going to touch on before I go, and many of you who follow me on Instagram or other forms of social media may have heard me talk about cryotherapy. And this is something that I first discovered when I visited the Shah Spa, which is an amazing well-being and wellness spa in the southern France. It's near Alicante. And it's really incredible. It's state of the art. They've got lots of high-tech stuff going on. And that's where I first discovered cryotherapy, where you literally stand in this chamber and they drop your body temperature to minus 130. Yeah, pretty cold. Minus 130. And I popped it on my Instagram, I think about a week ago. And yeah, it was flipping cold, but I felt so amazing. And the reason that people do it is either for physical muscle recovery. So people like Andy Murray will go and sit in ice baths after top tennis tournaments. But it's also very good for helping to stimulate our immune system. It boosts endorphins. It can lift your mood, ease depression, aches, pains. People with chronic pain, migraine, sometimes go and have cryotherapy. And I wrote about it. This was the magazine issue. This is actually December 2019. If you've got this one, this is the one that has little Basil on the cover, Botanical Baz, who we all love. So in here, I actually wrote about cryotherapy. You can see that's a little bit there of what the chamber looks like. And there I did it as part of a spa review. And I went to a place called London Cryo. They've got a branch in Victoria, just behind Victoria Coach Station if you're in London, or another one in the city. And they've given us all a discount. So if you use Liz Loves, when you call them up to make an appointment, you get 20% off, which is cool. Haha, cool, get it? Anyway, I went back early this week and I did feel really good for it. It doesn't last long. You only have to be dropped that temperature for 2 to 3 minutes. And there's somebody with you standing next to you, kind of talking you through it, being really reassuring, because honestly, when you go for the first time, you do think that perhaps you might die of cold. But it is short and sharp and you come out feeling amazing. So give it a go, have a look at it. Let me know what you think. You can always leave me a comment below. You can check out my pictures on all of this on Instagram. You'll find me there at Liz Earle Me. But I hope you have a lovely weekend and I look forward to chatting again next week. Bye.